The show that gets you ready for the week of football that lies ahead has returned. This is all things football, football unpacked. Good afternoon, welcome to it. I'm your host, Apiwe Roto. Bringing news, fixtures, results, and fixtures. We're back from the international break, the first of the year 2025, with another one to resume in mid early September rather. Plenty to talk about as far as the world of football is concerned. Controversies left, right, and center. One of those controversies rather surrounding the game between Bafana and Lesotho. The question revolves around Tebogo Mokoena and his eligibility to play in that game. And will South Africa bear the brunt of FIFA and their rules? Will they forfeit the 3 points? South Africa are a step closer to qualifying for the FIFA World Cup, with Japan and Iran having already booked their spots in the World Cup alongside New Zealand. Plenty to talk about in the world of football. Let's give you news making headlines in the world of football in the last week. Starting with the African Football League, CAF President Dr. Patrice Motsepe, who was recently re-elected to be CAF President after gaining some support from certain parts of the continent, from certain football federations of the continent, has confirmed that the second installment of the African Football League will the second installment of the African Football League will return in the new season. And initially expected to return this season, the tournament was put on hold to prevent a congested program for the teams that will take part in the expanded 2025 Club World Cup, which will be used as a dress rehearsal for the FIFA World Cup, which is to take place in the United States of America alongside Canada and Mexico. Second to be hosted, and the second to very first to be hosted by three different nations. The AFL was paused for the current season to allow clubs that qualified for the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup not to have a congested program. Dr. Patrice was re-elected unopposed as the CAF president recently. The mining mogul told the media in Cairo that the NFL will return in the new season. Plans were already made to expand the money spending tournament, with Sundowns having already won the inaugural tournament in 2023, moving the tournament from 8 teams to 16 which was basically a trial run, to 16 or possibly 24 teams in the next edition. It remains to be seen how teams would be invited, that being expanded to the expanded lucrative competition, but reports have suggested that Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs might be invited to join Mamelodi Sundowns, who will go into this one as defending champions. However, Kaizer Chiefs have fallen down the pecking order as far as the rankings are concerned in terms of CAF. As reported by footballdatabase.com, and would be anywhere close to a system that could be used by CAF to invite teams to the AFL. The Glamour Boys slipped down to a number 100, which is a big chasm, and to Sundowns, who are ranked at number 2 on the continent, only one behind Al Ahly. Sundowns, with Pirates climbing up the ladder in the aforesaid rankings by the statistics page, as they have moved up to number 11. Ahead of them, a lot of the traditional powerhouses such as Wydad Casablanca and AS Vita of the DRC. Stellenbosch's consistent run has also seemed to rise in the rankings, as they have placed at number 44 on the continent. In South Africa alone, Chiefs are ranked 8th, as they lie 8th on the league table, at the exact position they held on the hold on the Battery Premiership. They were ranked 12th at some point in Africa by FIFA in the Club World Cup ranking pathway, which considered results for the 4 past year cycle from 2021 to 2024, while the Buccaneers did not feature in the top 30 rankings by FIFA. On the other side, more news. More news coming in. The world's football governing body FIFA has confirmed uh, has confirmed that it has now three clubs in the PSL that are under the transfer ban. The third one, namely the Motsepe Foundation Championship side in Pretoria Calais, who joined the Pretoria Premiership sides, and Royal AM, who have now fallen down the pecking order and are involved in a saga involving SARS, and of course TS Galaxy, who have been there in a while, who are currently in a second transfer ban within a year, after relating to Ivorian striker Bernard Yao Kausi, which was resolved, a matter which was resolved, however, after the Liberian midfielder Jack Bay Morris Kone submitted his law appeal. Kone was signed at the beginning of who was signed now Kone was signed at the beginning of last of the 2024-25 season, but left without having kicked a ball in the league despite taking part in the pre-season tournament, which left the Liberian international very frustrated. According to reports, contacts have been involved with the case. The claim is now with FIFA, with Galaxy having a 21-day notice to expand. As it stands, Galaxy will serve bans until both cases are resolved, putting them at risk of not being able to sign players during the next window. The club has not been able to complete the signing of the veteran left back Nsfiso Hlanti, especially now with the sale of Samkelo Kabine to Norwegian side club FK Molde. Norwegian club at FK Molde, while Pretoria Calais is the other South African club serving, wait for this, a 3-window ban, which will be effective from as of November. All these sanctions have been confirmed by FIFA's latest registration ban listing. We bring it back home. We talk about now. There's been criticism with regards to the young starlets and the seasoned campaigners as far as the as Flay is concerned. We saw now Flay is very open, common. We see your Brazilian, South American soccer players. We saw your Diego Maradonas in the 80s, for those who got to see them. We saw the Ronaldinhos, we saw the Neymars, we saw the Messis and the Cristiano Ronaldos who do this all the time. Now, Tito Masanga, we bring it back home, talking about Patrick Tito Masongani, whose exploits in the CAF Champions League and wearing the number 10 jerseys sparked debate after fans suggested the number, which was retired to Orlando Pirates great midfielder and Dr. Jomo Sono, should be brought back after the number 10 jersey was retired in the year 2001 by Dr. Ivan Koza. Now, the last player to wear the jersey in the PSL was Steve Lekolea back in 2000-2001 season. The Jomo Cosmos honor, regarded as one of the greatest of all time in South Africa, was asked on his opinion on the matter, speaking at a conference he organized for the announcement of a sponsorship for his club, who are now plying their trade in the second division. He started off by being critical towards showboating without going forward. Now we have what we call, by many, according to many, as constructive showboating. Then there's this destructive showboating. You're not moving forward, you're not creating goals, you need to be constructive. Well, there's not, as much as there's nothing wrong with showboating, having fun, enjoying yourself, you need to be progressive in the process. Now many have not taken kindly to how the Pirates number 10 is taking up. The Pirates attacking midfielder has gone about his business. The player in question is Patrick Tito Masongani. Now he started off by he was very critical, and when asked about whether or not the number 10 jersey should be brought back, he did state that I quote, he is okay, but don't compare, because you've compared a lot of times. They're all dying after you compare them. You can't compare an elephant to an ant. This guy, which is me, was an elephant at the time. Dito poured his heart. Now Dito has since broken his silence, saying it did not sit well with him. What he said, maybe he has not seen the type of person he is, and him personally, he doesn't play football to prove to anyone what he's capable of. He did say on the latest series on the Bucks Camp documentary, which you can catch on your world on Supersport, channel 202, Supersport PSL, or you can catch it on Catch Up PSL on Supersport Catch Up. Go to Betway Premiership your settings. As a person, you don't look down on anyone regardless of who you are or what you've done. For the fact that I played for the team you played for and did well, I think a person like that should be supportive so we can believe we can reach his heights. He goes on to say, because we are trying to do better, we're trying to do better than many players who came before us, and many will still come and surpass us. So if you can't teach us how to treat the next Pirates player, if he can't teach us to treat the next Orlando Pirates player, if they are the next Pirates player, that would mean we'll also be unable to treat them well. We'll feel like others before us did not treat us well, and we would also not treat the next ones well. He added, the Tembisa born star who's been tipped to fill the shoes of Mamelodi Sun. Now these words came from the Tembisa born star who's been tipped to fill the to fill the shoes of Mamelodi Sundowns star midfielder, who's also an attacking midfielder, and his fellow Tembisa compatriot and Temba Zwane in the national team. Zwane has been out with an Achilles tendon, which he picked up last year in Congo during the AFCON qualifier. However, he is back in training and is started with light training. We hope to see him soon. On to our other news. Bafana coach and coach Hugo Broos was left unimpressed with what happened in the Ivory Coast. Coach Hugo Broos was left unimpressed with after his side were not allowed to train. After his side were not allowed to train in the they were not allowed to train at the Stade Felix Houphouët Boigny and Abidjan, Ivory Coast, ahead of Bafana's 2-0 win against Benin. Now, what happened is the national team arrived in. Now, if you remember clearly, the national team arrived in Abidjan on Sunday, and now when you arrive on Sunday, what you must understand is you are allowed to train the day before, familiarize yourself with the pitch, but this was not the case with Bafana, as they were not allowed to train due to. Now we seem to be having a problem with our technical device. Let's move to our other story rather. Supersport United have confirmed the addition of former player Onesmo Becerra into their technical team, with Andre Arenza now taking over as a coach. Now it remains to be seen if he is going to be coach on an interim basis or a permanent basis. Now the 1996 AFCON winning goalkeeper and three-time league winner with the Pretoria-based side takes over following the dismissal of Kevin Hunt, who was relieved of his duties following a string of poor results. Onesmo Becerra comes into the technical fold. Onesmo Becerra is no stranger to Supersport United, having last played as captain, despite having not kicked the ball in the last 18 months. Now the former Zimbabwean international was also on the books of Kaizer Chiefs, where he was part of that 2007 Telkom knockout winning side, now known as the Calling Knockout Cup and Calling Knockout Cup and the Calling Knockout Cup, that is. That's how it's known now. On to our other news. We're going to get back to these news in a moment. We just trying to fix. I'm just trying to fix our system so our news come back. Now, as much as our stories are written, as much as the notes are here, the rest of the notes are on this gadget here. So when this gadget fails, it causes a delay in the program. I'd like to apologize, however, for the technical glitch that just occurred. We're going to go back to the story regarding the Bafana Bafana head coach, who was left infuriated after they were denied access to the stadium in Abidjan, to do their training prior to the AFCON, to the FIFA World Cup, in which is to take place in the United States next year. Let's have a look at our story if we can find it now. Can we find it? Can we find it? Remember to like the story. Remember to like the video on YouTube. The video is available on the Apiwe Roto Network YouTube channel. That's AMAVAROTO. Remember to like the page. Thank you for the followers. The show is now on 155 followers. The Facebook page, All Things Football Unpacked. Thank you very much. That is much appreciated. Let's go to the Bafana story. Let's see if we can find the stories now. Starting with Bafana store segment saga, and now this is very common in most African countries, and many have expressed have expressed displeasure with regards to how they are treated on these parts of the continent, despite providing hospitality and being welcoming towards the opposition. We saw what happened with Nigeria and Libya just last year in the AFCON qualifiers, in which okay, we can't give you the Bafana story as a result, due to circumstances. However, we'll move on to the Super Sport United. We'll move on to the Super Sport United story with regards to Onesimo Basera joining the technical team. Yes, they have confirmed a new appointment, latest addition in the technical team post coach Gavin Hunt era. Onesimo Basera has been brought into the technical fold of almost a year since he last kicked the ball. And the word with the quote: leadership, experience, Spartan. And a statement that was made, Onesimo returns to help guide the team forward as part of Andre Aronson and Grant Johnson's technical team, who are both former goalkeepers, by the way. In a statement that was made by the club, it says, on Welcome Back Bash, your experience and passion for the game will be key for the road ahead. That's how brief that statement was. On to our other story, FIFA has confirmed that the teams that will be participating, four teams that have CAF sides, the four CAF sides that will take part in this year's FIFA Club World Cup, which will consist of 32 teams. The African clubs, namely Al Ali, Esperance de Tunis of Tunisia, Al Ali, who are the 10 times African CAF Champions League winners, Wydad Athletic Club, or Wydad Casablanca if you like, will bag pocket each guaranteed $9.55 million, which is 174 million rand in South African rands, simply for taking part, the participation fee that is. Notably, this amount is less than what European clubs will receive, than what European clubs will receive, unfortunately, with their participation earnings ranging from 12.81 million dollars to 38.9 million dollars, which is 233 million rand to 676 million rand, depending on FIFA's sporting and commercial criteria. On pitch results are incentivized. A victory in the group stage will earn Sundowns an additional $2 million, which is 36 million rand, while a draw will be worth $1 million, which is 18 million rand. All teams will reach the last 16 will receive 7.5 billion rands, with $7.5 million, I beg your pardon, which is 136 million rand for advancing to the group stage. Advancing to that stage, which is the round of 16. Quarterfinalists will make $13.125 million, which is 239 million rand, while semi-finalists will make 382 million rands, which is 21 million dollars, while the finalists will receive 30 million dollars, which is a 46 million rand, with the winner bagging 40 million rand, which is 729 million rand. So it's just money galore as far as FIFA is concerned. Uh, Recent World Cup exploits have worked in Bafana Bafana's favor. Bafana, who've been impressive, are yet to taste defeat. Bafana, who are yet to taste defeat, having just lost 3 times in all 18 matches which they participated in. The task at hand during these dates, the task at hand during these games was related to the 2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers in Group C, where they topped the table ahead of Rwanda, Benin, Lesotho, Zimbabwe, Nigeria, to mention in no particular order, to qualify for next year's world's biggest showpiece. Bafana won by 2-0 over Lesotho on Friday in Polokwane, and then traveled to Cote d'Ivoire and Abidjan, where they won by 2-0 with the 2 victories. Bafana will now move to number 56 from number 57, while those 2 victories were against lowly ranked Lesotho, who are 149th and the FIFA rankings, and Benin, who are 94th. It still came with benefit of rankings and moving 1 step up. Bafana will be moved from 56 to 57 to 56 when the FIFA releases the rankings on Thursday rather, which is coming week. On April the 3rd, the senior national team will also retain its place in the top 10 continent behind Morocco, Senegal, Algeria, AFCON champions Cote d'Ivoire, Nigeria, Tunisia, Cameroon, and of course Mali. While rankings are key in certain elements, priority for Bafana is qualification for the USA, Canada, Mexico FIFA World Cup, with the last qualification having been achieved way back in 2002, when we qualified for the Korea Japan World Cup, which was also co-hosted, the first to be co-hosted. Bafana, that's the last one. They, without needing to look over their shoulders, where they went in unbeaten, despite playing to a draw against Burkina Faso in Ouagadougou in 2001. Now, if you remember clearly, Coach Hugo Broos South Africa Bafana were in number 75 when he took over from Molefe Ntseki. He was relieved of his duties following failure to qualify for the 2021 AFCON. After the World Cup qualifiers, South Africa will end the year at the AFCON qualifiers, which will take place from 21 December to January 18th in Morocco, where they have been paired in the group with neighbors Angola and Zimbabwe, and alongside Egypt. Now, the Egypt Bafana game when it comes to AFCON are very personal. We date back to 1996 where they first met, where AFCON Egypt won by an odd goal in the 7th minute, and where they met in the 2 years later, where they met in the final, and Burkina Faso with Bafana winning by 2-0 with goals from Ahmed Hassan and Mustafi. And of course 2019 when Bafana knocked out Egypt on home soil in the round of 16 by an odd goal from Ngozi Lodge. The senior national team are through to their 12th appearance at the biennial competition, doing so after an impressive bronze medal finish after finishing third in the last installment, which was last year at the Ivory Coast, and will be looking to finish it a step further with finish it a step further with a gold medal finish and finishing on top of the table. I believe we can go all the way. Let's back our boys. Thank you again to my people of Polokwane for packing the stadiums. Cape Town, PE, every Cape Town, PE, everywhere Bafana have played. Thank you very much for packing the stadium to the rafters. Please do the same with Banyana going forward. Please do the same with Banyana going forward, and all other national teams, be it your junior national teams, your under 17s, under 20s, under 23s, and our women's national teams. Let's do the same. Let's show love as we do with other teams, the Proteas and the Springboks. At South Africa, at the end of the day, our late former statesman said it. Sport has the power to bring people together. Onto our other story, we bring it back home. Let's talk about the rules regarding the yellow card, the yellow cards in terms of FIFA regulations. Where after several teams have been submitting regulations. Let's hear what FIFA had to say about Tebogo Mokwena's disciplinary code. Let's hear what concerns were arisen, by the way, after Tebogo Mokwena's participation in the match against the Lesotho, despite having received 2 yellow cards. But now he was booked in the game against Benin in November 2023 and in the game against Zimbabwe, which we won in Bloemfontein. Now in between those matches, he did also feature in the 2025 AFCON qualifiers. The sequence of events suggests that he was supposed to sit that game out to cancel further yellow cards, or miss the game against Zimbabwe to cancel that yellow card, a result that took Bafana on top of Group C with 10 points. Now let's dissect the disciplinary code and relevance to Tebogo Mokwena's situation according to what the rule book says. Now these are FIFA's rules. We're not biased, we're not prejudiced. We know all things football Unpacked tells it like it is, with no fear or favor, no prejudice. It says that if a person receives a caution in 2 separate matches of the same FIFA competition, they are automatically suspended for the next match in that competition. By this rule, Mokoena should have not played in the Lesotho game. Additionally, the code clarifies that cautions received during one competition are not carried to another competition. So if you are suspended in the league, that yellow card, that suspension becomes irrelevant when you go to the continental competition. This means Mokwena's yellow cards from the World Cup qualifiers, in this case, were not transferred to the AFCON qualifiers. Now, AFCON qualifiers and the World Cup are 2 different tournaments. Now, if he's sent off in the AFCON qualifier, it falls by the wayside and the World Cup qualifiers. Now, this I stand to be corrected in this case. However, when it comes to protests, the regulations specify that Protests must reach the disciplinary committee in writing, indicating relevant grounds within 24 hours of the end of the match, and question. The 24-hour limit cannot be extended for the sake of smooth running of the competition. The corresponding competition regulations may shorten the protest deadline accordingly. A protest is valid only if it is based on an eligible player uh, uh, in a match as a consequence of that player not fulfilling conditions defined in the relevant FIFA regulations. Under the fielding an eligible player, FIFA's judicial body has the power to impose any appropriate disciplinary measures. At this stage, it remains uncertain. However, news in is that I'm gonna bring you the news in a moment. I'm gonna bring you the story in a moment. The news in right now is that Bafana Lesotho have withdrawn. Their decision have done away with their decision to have opted against appealing lodging a complaint against Bafana with regards to the suspension and him being active in that game. Mokoena was named in the team of the tournament during the AFCON. He received yellow cards against Benin and Zimbabwe, as we mentioned. He had now Tikwena fails to file a protest within the 24 hours, and they've decided not to do so, and they decide to spare Safa from disciplinary action. However, it's not in their hands anymore. It is in FIFA's hands. FIFA will now decide what they are going to do. It remains to when the FIFA World Cup qualifiers will do. Now, from what we've heard, the player could be suspended for a further 3 matches. There could be a fine of Swiss francs and a deduction of the 3. They might even have to forfeit the 3 points that they achieved. We have addressed the yellow card. Let's talk about the yellow card just to educate. Now, as much as we provide information with regards to the happenings in the world of football, the idea is also to educate about football and its rules. Let's talk about the yellow card suspension rules. We want to help the listeners understand the rules of the yellow cards. By the way, if you like the show, please go on to YouTube, the Apiwe Roto YouTube channel. Hit the comment. You are free to comment. Some constructive criticism is welcome, of course. And of course, hit the like button and hit the subscription if you want to see more. Don't be a stranger. Those 22 subscribers, you are much appreciated. Tell a friend to tell a friend. There's a new football show in town. And of course, ring the bell for notifications of new episodes which premiere every Saturday afternoon. 4 yellow card Battery Premiership, 4 yellow cards in the Battery Premiership. Here's a breakdown of the rules. That's in the PSL. We took 4 yellow cards in the Battery Premiership will result in a 1-match suspension, while in CAF matches, namely the AFCON qualifiers, 3 yellow cards will lead to a 1-match suspension, while in FIFA 2 yellow cards will result in a 1-match suspension. It's essential that each governing body, be it the Premier Soccer League, the CAF, or FIFA, has its own regulations and yellow cards accumulated in one competition. Now, you must understand that it's essential to note that each governing body has its own regulations, and yellow cards accumulated in one competition do not affect other competitions. Yellow cards in FIFA World Cup qualifiers do not impact the Battery Premiership nor CAF. Understanding these rules will clarify the consequences of accumulating yellow cards across different competitions. In addition to the rules, various competitions are also governed by specific clauses, bylaws. These governing regulations, requirements, and penalties for in competition to ensure FIFA fair play. Let's go to other stories. Plenty to talk about. Let's bring it back home. Let's bring it back home. Kaizer Chiefs have Kaizer Chiefs goalkeeper coach in LS Mzuki's exit from the Mauritania Football Federation has been confirmed. where he held a goalkeeper coaching job with the Mauritania senior national team since November 2021, having joined from the Tunisian US Ben Gadan. While the coach has also worked in Libya and the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia, just to mention a few. Mauritania, he worked with Harad Busha, Didier Gomez, and Amir Abdou, but had to leave following the sacking of the Comoros Frenchman the late last year. Mauritania have since appointed Artis Lopez Garay as their new national team coach. Mzuki's goalkeeping coach job has since been taken over by Abu Bakrin Sulaim, who is 37-year-old. Abu Bakrin Sulaim, who also holds a similar job with domestic champions FC Nodwebu, and was in charge during the recent FIFA dates. While Mzugi's job was never guaranteed upon Abdul's exit, confirmation has only come in now that he will no longer be needed with outstanding matters with the Mauritanian Football Federation also cleared. There'll be no longer long distance travels with every FIFA date, as was the case, which forced Coach Aubrey Motibe to intervene. This paves the way for the goalkeeper coach, who's usually jolly, to solely focus on Kaizer Chiefs, where he's worked under Nasrid Nabi. However, the goalkeeping department has had a hard time keeping a clean sheet, but have since been doing better, having had 7 with under goalkeeper Bruce Ruma having last 7 clean sheets in the last 20 games. Onto by the looks of things, it seems like that's our last story. Let's have a look at your suffer as we did away with yourself as we took an international break. We give you a preview of your. Let's have a look at how the FIFA World Cup qualifiers. We go across. Now we usually focus on the domestic side of things. This way, time we turn the table and focus on the international side of things. Let's have a look at Group A in the 2026 qualifiers. Egypt topped the table on 16 points after 16 matches, followed by Burkina Faso, who was 5 points behind, with Sierra Leone and third, Ethiopia on 6th and 4th, and Guinea-Bissau and of course Djibouti on 1 point. While Group P has DRC, who is likely to be contested between Senegal and the DRC, who are separated by a single point to 13 and 12. With Sudan going also on 12 points, while Togo, South Sudan was on 4th, and South Sudan and Mauritania are on 3rd, 3 points and 2 points significantly. Group C has our very own Bafana, who are on 13 points but are still under, who are likely to be under inspection and will have to hold their breath for the next couple of months to see whether or not FIFA will deduct the 3 points after the incident following Tebogo Mokoena. Currently on top of the table with 4 wins, a draw, and a loss in 6 matches, followed by Rwanda, who are on 8 points after being held to a draw by Lesotho in Rwanda in Kigali, and Benin, who fell short to Bafana and the Ivory Coast, where they've been playing their football due to their stadiums and not meeting CAF demands. CAF standards, I beg your pardon, followed by Nigeria in 4th, who struggled to beat Zimbabwe, and Lesotho in 5th, and Zimbabwe in number 6. Group D is topped by Cape Verde, who are trailed by Cameroon. While Group E, which caught many by surprise, I beg your pardon, Libya and Angola on 8th and 7th respectively, while Mauritius, who have not been seen in the football circles for a while, and Sardinia on 5th and 2 points respectively. Group E sees Morocco on 15 points. Morocco most likely to be the favorites in this group to qualify. Were followed by Niger on 6 points, alongside Tanzania, who are also on 6 points, with Zambia on 3 points, while as Comoros and Congo and Eritrea are currently on no yet to achieve points. Another team on 16 points alongside Egypt are the Elephants of the Ivory Coast, who are currently the champions of Africa. Who are also the champions of Africa on 16 points, followed by Gabon, who are trailed by a point. Behind Burundi come in third on 10 points, while Kenya, Benny McCarthy's Kenya, the Harambee Stars of Kenya are on 6 points. Gambia are on 4, while the Seychelles are yet to accumulate a point. Algeria are currently on 15 points, followed by Mozambique, who are on 12, alongside the Zebras of Botswana on 9 points. The Cranes of Uganda are also on 9, while Guinea and Somalia are on 7 and 1 point respectively. Tunisia, the Carthage Eagles in Group H, sit on 16 points, while the Brave Warriors of Namibia surprisingly are in second position. Followed by Liberia, the Lone Star, and Equatorial Guinea, who are on 10 and 7 points respectively, while Malawi are on 6, and Sao Tome and Principe are yet to achieve a point. Malawi are currently on 6 points. We finish off with Group I, who are currently which feature Ghana, who are on 15 points, alongside Comoros, who are on 12. Madagascar sit on 10, while the Eagles of Mali are on 9. Central African Republic are on 5, while Chad are yet to collect a point. By the looks of things, if things stay as they are, Burkina Faso, Senegal, Rwanda, Cameroon, Niger, Gabon, Mozambique, Namibia, and Comoros are likely to take part in a playoff, in a continental playoff, to see whether or not who is going to make the last spot in the AFCON, in the FIFA World Cup from a CAF perspective. Now remember, 10 spot AFCON. CAF is guaranteed 10 spots this time. 9 are automatically guaranteed. If Egypt, the DRC, South Africa, Cape Verde, Morocco, the Ivory Coast, Algeria, Tunisia, and Ghana, unless things go otherwise, win their groups, they will be guaranteed automatic qualification for the World Cup next year's showpiece. Let's have a look at your current unbeaten runs, your other records. Said currently we have unbeaten runs. Senegal top the table with 19 up in the last in the last couple of matches. In the last 18 games, Senegal are currently on 19. While Spain are on 18, South Africa are on 17th, Morocco are on 11, while Japan, who have already qualified for the 11th for this next year's FIFA World Cup alongside South Korea, are currently on 11 points, with Iran, who have also qualified for next year's World Cup, alongside Egypt on 9, and Haiti are up. Well, Haiti and Egypt are on 9 respectively. Let's have a look at your results. Your Nedbank Cup quarterfinal results between Mamelodi Sundowns and Sekhukhune United. Mamelodi Sundowns needed extra time to win last night's fixture in the 119th minute, which was won by substitute Jaden Adams, in a tightly contested affair at the Lucas Morepe Stadium. Here's how your semifinals look at the end of the day. Nedbank Cup semifinal fixture. Semifinal 1 will see Sundowns welcoming Kaizer Chiefs in a venue that is yet to be determined, while Orlando Pirates will welcome Marumo Gallants in matches that will be played between the weekend of 11th and the 12th of April respectively. Here's how today's fixtures look. We're back from the international break. No Premier League fixtures, the English Premier League fixtures this weekend. However, they will return return midweek. Let's have a look at Betway Premiership fixtures you can look forward to today. We have Chippa United facing Amazulu, while Golden Arrows take on Kaizer Chiefs. Makesi will face Stellenbosch FC. While on Sunday, we'll see TS Galaxy take on Moromo Gallants. Polokwane City will face Richards Bay, and we can finish that game with Super Sport United and Cape Town City, I beg your pardon. A kickoff for that fixture is at 17:45. Weekend football from next week starts with Amazulu taking on Richards Bay in a KZN derby. Tuesday, the English Premier League returns with Wolves taking on West Ham, or Arsenal take on Fulham in a London derby. Nottingham Forest take on Manchester United. While on Wednesday, we'll see Southampton taking on Crystal Palace. Bournemouth welcome Ipswich Town. Aston Villa entertain the travel to Brighton, while Newcastle entertain Brentford. Manchester City will take on a struggling Leicester City, while we have a Merseyside derby with Liverpool taking on Everton. On Thursday, we'll see the only London fixture, which will be the London derby between Chelsea and Tottenham. And that's all we have for on All Things Football Unpacked. Remember to like the page, All Things Football Unpacked on Facebook. Thank you very much. The show has reached 155 followers. It means a lot. The 22 subscribers. Let's make it. Let's reach those same levels as far as the YouTube channel is concerned. The real YouTube channel will be renamed. The All Things Football will also be known as All Things Football Unpacked in the next 2 weeks. Watch the space for that, but however, I will keep you in tabs. Perhaps you'll also see it on Instagram, which is also a work in progress. I've heard your pleas. I've not forgotten your request regarding the lighting and the background. Yes, I've noted all of it. And my name is Apiwe Roto. It's time for me to call it a day as far as all things football is concerned. Enjoy the show, enjoy the football. Let's talk all things football next week on your favorite #1 football show, All Things Football Unpacked. My name is Apiwe Roto. Enjoy the show and enjoy the football. Let's give it a name and call it a day. Cheers.